Welcome to Polk Today. I'm your host, Brian Lacey. Polk Today is a daily show airing Monday through Friday right here on PGTV with useful county information, weather with Billy Abernathy, and highlights from PGTV programs, along with previewing upcoming meetings. Today is Wednesday, September 17th. The Board of County Commissioners recently held the second of two public hearings on the fiscal year 2014-15 budget. Here's some of the insight on the numbers, the process, and the final results.
Good morning. I'm Mayanne Nelson, Communications Director for the Polk County Board of County Commissioners, and my guest this morning here on PGTV is Todd Bond. Todd is the Budget Officer for the Polk County Board of County Commissioners, and he's probably one of the happiest people right now in all of Bartow. Todd, first of all, congratulations for passing a budget on Monday night with the public hearing and the commissioners, and thank you very much for all the work that your team did.
Oh, thank you, Mayanne. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's always a little bit of a relief when you get past the final public hearing, the board approves the budget, and you're able to start focusing on the next round. So,
well, tell me, it's a $1.2 billion budget with a slight increase from last year.
Yeah, very slight. You could almost call it status quo. Not much of an increase, but it is $1.26 billion, and it's a large budget. We have over 50 different funds. Revenue sources that come in into different funds, and we fund multiple things from transportation, solid waste, utilities.
Well, tell me, Todd, about a month ago, I'm a property owner.
Sure.
I got a trim notice.
Yes.
Truth in millage notice.
Yes.
From the county appraiser to tell me what anticipated my taxes might be for next year and what it was going to.
Yes.
Any difference between what my trim notice says and the budget we passed last night?
No,
or Monday night?
No, the budget that was passed Monday night was exactly what was advertised on the trim notice. The trim notices can be a little confusing because they have 4 different columns and they try and explain what what the changes would be. But in reality, what the board passed last night is the same millage rate that they've had since fiscal year 07-08. With the exception of one new millage rate for the Rancho Bonito area, just a small portion of the county in the northwest portion of the county. So everything else really has remained the same as far as what the board has control over. The millage rate for the county has remained the same since 07-08.
The county does a pretty good job of managing our money.
Yes, I think so.
Now, we talked about all of those 50 different funds, and we sometimes narrow in on the general fund because a lot of the social services things come out of that budget, and a lot of the needs to fund the county in offices like communications like ours.
Yes.
But the big part of the budget actually deals with something called CIP. What is CIP?
Yes. CIP stands for Capital Improvement Program or Community Investment Program. It's basically a program where we fund all of our large infrastructure projects, things like roads being widened, intersections being improved for safety reasons. Our utilities has a lot of infrastructure, pipes and things that they have to maintain, so those are large projects. Landfill has many different capital expenditures, so the large projects at the landfill closure. So its primary purpose is to be there to help capture all of our large projects. And the definition of those large projects are any infrastructure-related expenditure over $100,000. So that's basically what is included in our CIP.
And that's 2/3 of the budget.
Yes, yeah.
Very much so.
Yep.
Well, Todd, today you're starting to look ahead. You have a staff meeting and you start thinking about actually preparing a budget booklet.
Yes.
And then you start thinking what's down the road and making projections.
Yes.
What do you see? What do the gurus in the county see for taxes and ad valorem increases for the next year or two?
Sure. We are projecting out pretty much based on a historic average. We've kind of pulled out that peak back in 07-08 and then the decline since. But if you look historically back, through the 80s, 90s even, there's a historic 3 to 4% increase. So that's what we're using at this time as our projection. Actually, for fiscal year 15-16, we're projecting 4%, and then thereafter a 3% increase. So I guess you could call it just kind of a slight percentage increase on property values.
And more of a stabilization
yes.
from the big years in the
Yes, true.
early 2000s for Polk County.
Yes.
Well, Todd, thank you very much for being my guest this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Again, congratulations and thank you. October 1st is the big day when the budget actually moves into taking effect, even though it was resolved immediately yesterday that it could happen, but October 1st is a big day, so thank you. And
Thank
we
you,
look
Maya.
forward to seeing you again soon.
September 11th means many things to many people. To Polk County residents, it's a day to honor our heroes and remember the day. Winter Haven Central Park was the backdrop for Freedom Walk and a ceremony honoring first responders and current and former military members. Here's a look at the sights and sounds from the evening's events.
The events of September 11th, 2001 will never leave the consciousness of Americans. And as we come together to observe yet another year having passed since that tragic day, we stand together united to never forget the sacrifice that the members of the first responders and the armed forces made for us. Even today, that struggle continues to rid the world of the evil that revealed itself to America. We must always remember and encourage our younger generation to remember and respect those that paid the ultimate price for freedom.
We have men and women around the globe looking out for our best interest. Do you know, if we had innocence at all in this country, we lost it on September the 11th, 2001. And I think about the military men and women who are around the world. I think about the law enforcement officers that are in every community in this nation and around the world that keep us safe.
But you know that those firefighters, EMS personnel, police officers, military personnel, and yes, some citizens who helped others on 9/11 are rightly bestowed with the title hero. Harper Lee said it like this, why are they called heroes? Because they met another definition of hero from Harper Lee, one that shows great courage. Those responders that rushed in to help and those citizens who slowed their own escape to help others truly showed great courage. Another definition of courage is when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway, and you see it through no matter what. Many of those that went into the building that day while thousands were rushing out surely, at least briefly, questioned the wisdom of what they were told to do, but they did it anyway. That's true courage.
Polk County Radio to all fallen police, firefighter, and EMS personnel. Polk County Radio to all fallen police, firefighter, and EMS personnel. Polk County Radio to all fallen Polk County first responders. On behalf of the citizens of Polk County, thank you for a job well done. May each of you rest in peace. To the families of all fallen Polk County first responders, our prayers for continued strength. Time is 19:18 hours. Date is 9/11/2014.
Staying on top of the events here at Polk today includes a look at the weather. For the latest forecasts, conditions, and a look at what's happening in the tropics, we take you to the Emergency Operations Center with EOC Coordinator Billy Abernathy. Hey, Billy.
Thanks, Brian. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bill Abernathy, Polk County Emergency Management from the Emergency Operations Center. And this is your weather brief for Wednesday, September 17, 2014. For today, we can expect a high of around 89, a low of around 72 tonight. Humidity today will be at 100%. We have a 70% chance of thunderstorms, with winds being from the west at 5 to 8 miles an hour. Thunderstorms that do develop will be capable of producing frequent lightning and heavy downpours at times. For Thursday, we can expect a high of 92, low of 74, with a 30% chance of scattered thunderstorms, mainly after 2 p.m. Winds will be from the west-southwest at 3 to 5 miles per hour. And for Friday, we can expect a high of around 89, a low of around 70, with a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms, mainly after 8 a.m. For Friday night, 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms throughout that night. For winds will also be from the northeast at 5 to 9 miles per hour. And now to the tropics. Polk County Emergency Management is currently monitoring a wave about 300 miles northeast of the Lesser Antilles, identified with the white circle. This system has moderate convection and is moving to the west at 15 to 17 miles per hour. We're also monitoring a wave that has a 1008 millibar low pressure system associated with it. This system is moving to the west at 15 miles per hour. Sahara air is limiting convection of this system. We're also monitoring a wave just moving off the coast of Africa, identified with the yellow circle. Movement of this system is to the west at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Development of this system is down from yesterday, 48 hours at 0%, and in 5 days at 10%. I'm Bill Abernathy, Polk County Emergency Manager from the Emergency Operations Center. I'll see you back here tomorrow on PGTV. Back to you, Brian.
Hey, that's going to do it for today's show. As a reminder to keep current with programs or progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or even check out the Polk County YouTube channel. I invite you to join us Thursday when we will take a look at the Household Hazardous Waste Collection Facility and take a tour of the Polk Museum of Art's student display. For Polk Today, I'm Brian Lacey, and we'll see you tomorrow.